One time.
Well, speaking of your home state, but now you're in my home state, so
That's
let's
right,
compare this, all right, Sai? You know, they have very, very different cannabis markets.
Right.
Some of these differences are obvious, others are more subtle, but I want you to tell me, since you've clearly spent a lot of time in each, which of these two pioneering states mostly got legalization and regulation right? Which of them did it the best?
Well, I think, you know, day one, Colorado definitely, you know, was in a great spot. And because of your regulated medical market, you guys were able to just flip a switch essentially and start the recreational sales, where Washington took a long time after I-502 passed, and I think it was a bit of a struggle in the beginning. Those first few months of recreational sales, there was supply shortages, pricing was through the roof.
Sure, and yours started 5 months after ours did, even though we voted at the same time. So
exactly. So it took a long time to get there. So yeah, I think out of the gate, you know, Colorado was right there, but I think Washington's catching up. And some interesting things about Washington, if you ever get a chance to go, you know, to Seattle or any of our neighboring cities and just check out retailers, is that they had to be created, you know, from scratch. They didn't exist before. It wasn't medical that could be converted. And because of that, you know, they didn't have certain limitations, like you had to have a waiting room, you know, because you're checking in new patients, and you had to have 2 doors, you know, where a lot of design was based around that medical to recreational, and still a lot of places have some of that hybrid in Colorado, but in Washington, it was just strictly recreational. So it was really cool to see some interesting takes on what a recreational store might look like, just with no sense of what it should look like, right? Because there was nothing that had started just from scratch like that.
So Colorado did it the best.
Yeah, Colorado.
And now Washington's catching up.
Washington's catching up.
Is that where we're at?
Yeah, I think so. And I love the product selection in Washington. I love the branding in Washington. We have got a lot of brands, a lot of variety of products. We do prepackaged flowers, so that's pretty interesting to see.
I know, it's always so off-putting for me to see that on
Is
Instagram or my friends, you know, posting photos, especially just because here we can smell it, we can watch them take it out with the chopsticks and put it into a canister, but all of the flour is prepackaged.
All of it's prepackaged, so it's just kind of on, you know, how it looks most of the time, and the bud tenders' recommendations. They have sniffer jars, things like that to try and get around it, but the stuff dries out so fast in there, and it's never a good representation. So they're trying to figure that out. But it being prepackaged, you know, it's more in line with kind of any product, any consumer packaged good, you know, you'd expect. You just take it off the shelf and you purchase it. You know, you're not digging into a jar to grab anything.
And in Colorado, we're buying bulk from the bulk bin, digging in there with getting our oatmeal.
That's right, yeah.